at Tyson Fury, my opening question would be, how does he compare to some of the greatest heavyweights that you've seen?
Well, this is the start of a load of arguments in bars, clubs, you name it. It's an age-old problem. Who is the best? Who is the greatest? And you're trying to compare fighters from completely different eras, which is not easy. I was very fortunate. I covered what has been described as the golden age of heavyweights. So for me, Ali, Foreman, Holmes, Frazier, and even Tyson, in my opinion, would all have beaten Tyson Fury. All at their best, all in their prime. There's no doubt in my mind that Ali would have been too fast for him. I'm not knocking Fury, he's a very good fighter, and he would have given every one of them a tremendous fight. But I think that their experience, the fact that they beat higher class opponents than Fury has had to meet. Wilder, 3 terrific fights, but apart from his tremendous punch, Wilder, didn't have a lot else going for him.
And those are the words of Colin Hart, a legendary writer, sports writer, boxing historian. And that is what he said about Tyson Fury. Now, a lot of people may think that Colin is somewhat of throwing shade at Tyson Fury, but I don't think that's the case. I think he's based on what he's seen from other fighters, based on the skills and the opposition that Tyson Fury's been through. He thinks those guys would beat Tyson Fury. Well, let me counterpunch. First off, there's no way of knowing people, for one. But I'll say this. When you talk about Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, those guys all fought each other. Okay, so we knew exactly where they were stacked up. We knew how, based on the fights that they had, based on the fights that they had with all of each other, we knew. Okay, we don't know that in this age, and that's the problem. That alone, since that has been troubleshooted, fights have happened to see what in fact happened. Those are those type of things. Okay. Now, when you're dealing with Tyson Fury, it's all types of moments of uncertainty. Okay. All types. There are so many fights that are possible outcomes and scenarios with Tyson Fury, with other fighters, that it's a very premature thing to say what Tyson Fury would have done or what Tyson Fury will do with the people now. You talk about the 2 other guys, okay? Usyk, Joshua. Okay, these guys are going to fight each other. They fought before. They're fighting, for the rematch. And we don't know, and there's no clear-cut way that Tyson Fury beats those guys. Now, is he favored? Sure, he's favored, but based on what? Him fighting someone else. And like Colin pointed out, Wilder didn't have what people thought he had. He had a right hand, but really not much more than that. A right hand, heart, faith, right? Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. But other than that, what else did we receive from Wilder? Not a lot. Okay, even with Malik Scott, it was basically, he went back to what he knew. Try his best to knock you out of the ring. But he only had the right hand to do it. So people praising Tyson Fury, I think it's premature. See, if people were fair, it would be, hey, look what Tyson did to Deontay. Great fight, which it was a great fight. The third fight was probably the best, if not the best. Save the best for last, that's what we got. But that fight and that saga, as far as we know right now, is over. Okay? You can only praise Tyson Fury for the things that he's done. All right? Not anything else. Not what he'll do with another fighter because they haven't fought yet. So we don't know. But back to the original statement that Colin stated. Those guys, Frazier, Ali, Norton, Foreman, they all fought each other. So we knew who did what. So again, for that reason, it would be hard for me to pick Tyson Fury over Ali or maybe Norton. I think he beats George. I think he beats Joe Frazier. He's too big. I think he beats George Foreman, maybe. But Foreman was a hard-hitting guy himself. And if Wilder can catch him, so can Foreman. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Mr. Colin's prediction. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.